It's the old fella here, or if you're new here, old Mr. B, or whatever. Behind me is the band Vintersea. Now, I've done an interview with two members of the band, right? Again, just here, the young lady, and Riley, quite the tall person behind her. Interesting interview this is. I've learnt an awful lot about the band, everything about them, and everything else. They are a great band, but it's what the interview's about, if you like, what the chat's about, and everything else. You will find out an awful lot, and I did an awful lot about the band, and all the information will be down below about them. Check them out. They're a great band, and I learnt so much today, if you like, chatting to them, and it's all well worth a watch for sure, and support them. They are well worth it. They are lovely people. I'm not going to say what I was chatting about or anything like that. You'll see that in the interview, and it'll just end. I'm not going to put anything on the end to follow up, but hopefully we will be doing more chats in the future. But we will see. But anyway, a great thing, and I'm just going to say Cheerios. That's become it's going to become a joke. Make sure you've all got your box of Cheerios. Yeah. That's an in joke, if you like. Yes. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing names right as well, because I'm terrible at that. It's terrible at that. I'm really bad with names. And there were, I'm trying to think of the other name now, the other lady's name, that got. Oh dear! I'm looking down here. I'm just seeing what information I've got. Information. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put all their information in, where you can get in touch with them and everything else. And if you talk to them, they will reply to you as well. They're wonderful people. They really are nice. And yes, Candice I had a long conversation with Candice on the comment section, and she's involved with the video stuff. Anyway, you will find all this out. They're a great band. They really are. Avian is the singer, and you'll find out. I'm not going to say any more, because if I do, it's pointless me doing the chat. Anyway, I'm not going to go TikTok Let's Rock, because it's pointless. Because okay, I've got to think of something to say, how to introduce the interview. Yeah, I'll have to come up with something. But anyway, here we go. One interview. Here we go, and it's now over to the interview. Oh, thank you. Right, I'll just say hi, everybody. Everyone knows it's the old fella, or old Mr. B. But what I'm doing, I'll put a thing at the start anyway to say it's what's happening. Right, and could you introduce yourselves then, please?
What up, Mr. B? It's your girl Avian from Vintersea, and we have Mr. Riley from Vintersea, and we are from Vintersea.
I like it. Yes, very good. Yes. Well, everyone knows me as old Mr. B, but my actual name is, so they can all have this, it's Brandon. That's what the B stands for.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can use whatever word you like with the B. It doesn't matter. And I've probably been called that a few times.
Don't want to be censored on YouTube. Keep it PG.
I don't use. You probably noticed. I don't use bad language.
Yeah.
On YouTube. At home, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, one of the things I'm going to ask you right now, when you do the videos, right? I thought they might be filming. I mean, they're not filmed in the studio. So some poor person is out there in the freezing cold, in the snow. Yes.
Yeah.
They're rotten to you.
Sasquatch. Sasquatch in the snow.
Yeah, it's all of us in the snow. I mean, that's kind of how we do these videos.
They're varying levels of clothing and robing.
Yeah.
You're joking. The one I watched, you're walking down, and I'm thinking, no, she's going to go in the river because you've got what you. I thought, no, they're being really rotten to you.
Oh.
We wouldn't make her do it if we wouldn't do it too. But yeah, we don't necessarily do it in a dress. So, you know, she's a trooper. But our bass player, Carl, he's our filmographer and videographer. He's the guy who kind of makes and edits all our videos. But then, yeah, the whole band comes together to help with that stuff. So, if you see her on camera, we're all probably standing behind, you know, trying to make her laugh and making fun of her and totally wasting time.
Making sure that I'm still alive and responsive and the old noggin is still active and not frozen over.
Yeah, at least one of us has a blanket for her when she needs it.
Yeah.
Well, I would have thought you'd have done it in summertime.
Some of them, but you know, sometimes
it's luxury.
Yeah. Summertime videos are a luxury, but sometimes we're on tour in the summer, so you know, might make a video of us on tour, but then in the middle of winter we have to do something, and so that's you know,
right. So
in the snow.
Yeah, so you do all your own filming and stuff as well.
Yeah. Thanks to Carl. I mean, we definitely, you know, it would be a totally different story if we didn't have Carl in the band. We actually met Carl working on a music video.
The first one.
Yeah. He filmed our first music video, Skies Set Ablaze, and he wasn't in the band yet. And that's where we met him. And then since then, he's always pushing us to make more videos, and you know, it's been a big help for us to get out there.
Right. So how long's the band been going? Because
so we met in like 2014.
That's a few years ago.
Yeah,
I don't know if I have enough fingers to count how many years. 7.
I haven't got enough fingers for me 8.
Yeah, so we all met in like 2014. The band was called Asterion at that point. That was before Carl had joined. And we made a demo. But then Vintersea kind of came about in 2016. It was actually January 2017 when we released The Gravity of Fall. That's when we changed our name officially and kind of, you know, started changing our sound and our direction. So Vintersea's been around since 2017, but we've all been making music together since about 2014. And
the next question, how did you get the name?
We were brainstorming on names, and then for a while, and then we came up with this one, and then we were like, searching on Instagram. Is the Instagram handle not taken? It's not taken. So we were like, yes, finally a word that's unique, and like we can like get the Twitter handle for it and like the name for it. It was because our previous band, Asterion, that name, like if you search it, then you get like 3 other metal bands like spread across the US.
I'm totally with you on that. When I started my YouTube channel, like with old Mr. B, nobody else had got it.
Yeah.
And the reason I got it is because where I worked, somebody used to call me Mr. B all the time. So I just put the old in front of it, took it on. And I'm so easy to find now.
Yeah.
And then I thought, will the old affect my channel? But apparently not. The way it started, I mean, it's 10 months, I think. So it's been doing it 10 months now, and it's like it's just growing.
Yeah, it seems to be doing great. It's
and I never asked to like, subscribe, and all the rest of it.
People just do it.
I know, because what's the point?
Yeah.
You know, I don't like it, so I don't do it. So this is interesting then. So how you got the name and everything, because I'm always fascinated with that, how bands get names.
Yeah. So, you know, our style and our sound is definitely very Scandinavian, you know, kind of that Northern European metal sound. And so we kind of were leaning into that. We were looking for some words that we could put together that kind of implied a natural link, you know. So we have the sea, the ocean, and the winter being the winter. You know,
cold, like, as you can tell, we shoot out all in the winter terrain very much.
A cold ocean kind of perfectly represents our sound and our videos and our look and our aesthetic. So it was just kind of a good match. And, you know, we went through lots and lots and lots of names in the band chat trying to figure it out for a long time. And once that one popped up and we checked and it looked unique and like we could really brand ourselves with it, we just kind of ran with it. And it's, people seem to like it as long as they know how to
it's good. It's different. It's different. Because I mean, somebody asked me to react to you, or somebody from your band. I don't know. I haven't got a problem with that. I thought, blimey, a band's actually, you know, I couldn't believe it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
The same as I had a record company do the set. I thought, what a record company asking me to, what? They normally block, or.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Well, I did get up to 2 copyright strikes at one point.
Boy.
So annoying.
And I know, but the thing, well, mind you, I think I know why I got one, because I did call somebody scruffy. The guy, there's the lady there, you know, and she's all nice. And there's this like long-haired guy with a beard, but it could have done something. It just looked scruffy. And I think that's why I got it, because it wasn't taken down anywhere else. but this is what it's like. And I mean, like with you asking me, I'm thinking, oh no, I'm not going to get any copyright strikes. It's the argument with it, with all this is with YouTube, is to do with the monetization of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yours, you don't monetize. It's not a problem. I don't care. I'm not after the money. It should go to the bands.
Right.
And you know, if I get views and it's making money, that's fine. That's where it should be going, not me. You know, I get the odd 1 or 2, but it's, you know, not my shot. But I don't care. I'm in it for the music. I'm in it for the bands, the people, and everything else. And I mean, like now I'm retired, so I've got the time to do all this.
Yeah.
And I put 3 up a day. So yeah. Well, I mean,
good clip.
Yeah.
Well, the other day I did 11 in one day.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, but I can do it. And then, like, tomorrow's is already up. I've only got to do the covers. That doesn't take long. And so you see what I mean. But this is what I mean. So, right, the direction you're going with your music, right, which is good, right, and in the next couple of days, this will be up, and it'll follow up with my reaction to the Holy. Yes.
Yeah.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. It's all right. I mean, it's good. I like your videos, because your videos sort of fit in with the music, because you'll probably hear me complaining about videos going, video killed the radio star, because you can't make your own story up in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas yours do go to it. Yeah, I don't mind that. It's like one I just reacted to. It's not even going up.
We've heard that from a few reactors, you know, that sometimes they make a video and they just can't put it up in good conscience. I get it.
No, I can't. I'm not even going to talk about it. But yeah. So, and what of equipment? Right, equipment wise.
Mm-hmm.
And you play. Hang on, rhythm guitar.
Yep.
So it tells me here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so, go ahead.
Yeah. What guitar is it you're playing?
So I play both Jorma, our lead guitarist, and we play Balaguer Guitars. It's kind of a small, mid-sized company in Pennsylvania here in the U.S. And they make custom guitars, really, really nice ones with a lot of options. And Jorma, he was able to kind of reach out and form a relationship with them. And so a couple of years ago, probably about 2017, I guess, we started working with them, got our first custom guitars. It's the Balaguer Archetype. And yeah, they're 27-inch, sort of a baritone scale, 7-string guitar, which is just perfect for us, especially me. I've got these big mitts, and so it's tough for me to play little guitars. So
size comparison.
Yeah.
The other side.
Yeah. So so I like the baritone scale guitars, and Jorma plays those too. And so we've been playing those for a while. And then we were playing through Kemper. We've pretty much gone through the whole line of like amp modelers. So we started with the Axe Effects, which we liked a lot, but we wanted to get something that sounded a little bit more natural. So then we moved to the Kempers, the Kemper Profilers, which are great pieces of equipment, but they're big and heavy and really expensive. And we started actually, you mentioned that you play early when we were talking earlier, you mentioned that you have a Helix.
Yes.
And we
LT,
actually play,
smaller one.
we actually play through HX Stomps now. The Line 6 HX Stomp, it's like this big. And it fits in our gig bags. And, so when we start talking about like touring to Europe and stuff, it becomes totally more doable because we don't have to bring these, 120-pound pieces of equipment with us anymore.
Right.
So, but then we still, we don't like to go fully digital. So we still run that through a power amp. We have a VHT power amp that then goes into Mesa 2x12 cabinets. For a stage and for recording. So it's kind of the best of both worlds for us in terms of, getting lots of effects in a small box and a lot of sound flexibility, but still having it sound fairly natural. So that's kind of our guitar rundown.
Right. Yeah, here's a question. So you do tour Europe, do you?
We haven't yet, but it's something we've been talking about for a while.
Free ticket.
We want to be ready, So that's when we've made these changes to get ready to tour. That's something we talk about is, hey, if we get an offer, are we ready to jump on a plane? And now we're a lot closer. So
yeah, but at the moment you want to jump off a plane, everyone's too close together. But yeah. If you come over, I want to see you. What?
Yeah.
Don't mind a free ticket, Hey,
well, at least have a guest list or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Hey, listen, if you don't ask, you don't know. Do you? I will. No, I'd actually pay. But I mean, the thing is, though, if you did come over, I'd like to do a live.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Right then. Now, microphones, young lady. Do you just use the one, or do you use two different ones, or?
Well, hello. I am Avian, and my instrument is the voice box. I put it through a filter. It's got different effects. It's called the BJX 269. It's got about like 4 or 5 different tones. No, I'm just messing you. Let's see. When it comes to the studio, it's all it's all the whatever that's available there. So Gabe, he does all of our mixing and mastering, and he's just a wizard at knowing his gear, so he does that. But for what I use an SM57 or SM7B. SM7B, SM57 for the stage, or maybe 58.
Yeah, you've been using a 58 for stage.
This is why I have Riley around, because he knows like all the different letters and numbers.
Yeah.
So pretty much Shure microphones.
Shure microphones.
I'm going to say, I bet it's going to be Shure because everybody uses Shure.
Yeah. So she mostly uses the 58 for the stage and the SM7B for recording,
like at home stuff.
Yeah, and demos.
And I actually did use that for the Slay at Home performance we did, which was a live playthrough. So that was just all going into one microphone. Mm-hmm. The good old Shure.
Yeah. Of course, we get a lot of questions about what kind of effect she has on her voice, because she sounds like she's, like the size of a hurricane. And Gabe Johnston, our mixing engineer, he's jumped in on some comment sections and talked about what he does. And it's pretty much just a little bit of reverb, and depending on the song, maybe a little delay or something. But yeah, it's a pretty simple signal chain for vocals, just microphone, little bit of reverb.
Make sure everything is plugged in.
I've worked it out. The shorter they are, the deeper the growl.
What? The shorter the growl,
the deeper the growl.
Because we're closer to hell and closer to Satan.
Well, okay. There's a band called Bride here, Japanese band, and the little bass player must be only just over 4 foot something. Yeah?
I'm over 4 foot something.
Yeah. And then she comes up and starts growling. And I mean, it's like like I said, you've got 2 tones of growl, which is amazing, and you've got a fantastic voice anyway. Yeah, really good singing voice. And I'm thinking, wow, so it's like there's obviously a technique and there's a way where you don't damage your voice. I take it. There's the right way and there's the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, my voice went with too many cigarettes. That's what did mine. Ex-smoker, but yeah, it's great. I like the music and what you're doing, and everything. It's really good, and the way you're putting the videos together, it's fantastic. So, like I say, we need to get more people to watch you.
I agree. Yeah.
Oh, and your merch. Do you advertise your merch?
Yeah. So YouTube has kind of made it a little difficult to advertise our merch the way that we sell it. But yeah, we just have a Bandcamp where we package and sell all of our own merchandise. That way we can control the quality.
Is there a link?
Yeah. Well, it's just Vintersea.com.
That's okay. As long as I've got the link.
Yeah.
You know, when I do it, I don't mind.
Yeah.
Because that's what get lost. So I got always have things popping up on the computer all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I'm on see whatever I do now, I also put on Twitter as well to get people out there more. This is what I'm trying to do, because it's great what you're doing. And I mean, I take it, so I know some of the bands aren't full-time bands, but you're full-time, yeah?
Well, we all have other jobs at the
right.
moment, but you know, we take it pretty seriously, and you know, everyone has to be willing to put in the time. So yeah. I mean, it's at least a full-time job, the amount of work we put in.
Yeah.
But
So okay, so it's like if you can like get that transformation done and tour Europe, sell out. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
That'd be nice to see, because I mean the quality that you're doing at the moment I think is fantastic. You know, the videos and everything, and it's great. You know, I mean, my trouble is, if you like, most of the people my age, unfortunately, still live in back then when the Beatles were out. You know, they're not with today's music. And of course, if I mention Vintersea, they go, who? Proper rock band.
Yeah.
You know, and but this is what I'm trying to do. And there's a lot of people that like what you're doing. I mean, and I'm, like I say, trying to get you out there, get you more promoting. And I thought, well, I'm going to try and see if I can interview people, have a chat about and get to know them as people, not, you know, ask silly questions. You know, like how many toilets have you blown up? Why you been in the band? You know, that sort of thing.
I don't know, like 3.
3 maybe. Yeah. I mean, some of those venues, the toilets are like, you know, hanging on by a thread. So
yeah, what I meant was the Who back in the 60s blew toilets up.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. But no, it's great. I mean, I really like what you do. And I mean, what's your plans moving forward? New album or anything in the lined up? Anything new?
Yeah, we got some of the new stuff on the way. We are working on that. That's part of the reason why we're here today.
Yeah. She came over to write lyrics.
Yeah.
So you write the lyrics? Yeah.
Both of us do.
Yeah, we pretty much.
Yeah.
We write the lyrics together. She does the majority of it, but I'm kind of a writer at heart, so I like to have my input on it too.
It's good to have someone to let you know if it sucks, if it does. Because sometimes when you're writing stuff, like I'm so all over the place that it's so hard to like, when it comes to like, I talk about like building a train tracks, like it's easy to come up the tracks, but like Riley's really good at laying them down. So I guess it's just a really collaborative effort on just anything we do, really, from lyrics to the videos to the music. Everything you see is everyone has something to do with it. And I think we're really lucky to have a band and work with a team that we all just want to create like something really cool.
Yeah.
It's good. That's something that I didn't know, that, right, you're all a team, you do your own filming, you do everything, you do the whole thing, which is great.
Yeah. It's something we put a lot of ourselves into. So, you know, the whole process, I mean, from really the whole production, other than the, actually going into the studio. We usually try to get demos down that have all of our layers in it and everything. And so we do that before we ever even go into the studio. So we usually don't work with like producers or anything like that. I mean, our recording engineer, mixing engineer, he's great, but mostly what he tries to do is just bring our vision to life. So yeah, I mean, it's fully self-produced, self-funded. I mean, we're now working with a record label that gives us a lot of freedom and allows us to do what we want to do. But really, their goal is just to distribute our music. They don't really have any creative input on what we're doing.
No.
They just help us. They just help us out and give us
the really nice, like a boost to get
Yeah.
into the bigger world.
Yeah.
Such a small team in a
But
area.
most record companies are only interested in money.
Right.
That's what really annoys me when if you broke down, going back, when we had, when they had a single or an album, let's say an album, and then when they broke it down to who gets the chunk out of it, and the person that got the least out is the artist, which to me is wrong. The people with the talent get the least.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and so we're really lucky and happy with the arrangement that we have. I mean, M Theory Audio is our label, and they're really a distribution label. That's kind of their goal, and so they give us access to all kinds of great resources and stuff that we wouldn't have otherwise in terms of like graphic artists and vinyl producers and that kind of stuff. But yeah, pretty much they're just giving us a platform to do what we do.
They do that with their other bands too.
Yeah.
So like any band that you find on their roster is all very authentic, because if they're anything like what we do, then every band you hear is like, it's a real representation of the people in the band.
Right. So it's worth giving them a shout out then as well.
M Theory.
Yeah. We've got a great roster. Hopefully we'll get to tour with some of those bands really soon and get to know them a little better. We've made some good friends already just through the label. So
this is great. This is all good stuff I'm hearing.
Yeah.
This is great because I mean, most times a record company owns the band. You're going to do like 3 albums this year, and all the rest of it. But these are like more like, if you like, record company, but more for distributing than. That's great.
Exactly. Yeah. It's much more about their distribution network than it is about any kind of creative control, which is great for us because honestly, if a huge label came and wanted to sign us, we'd have to discuss it, but it might be pretty hard for us to give up that much control, because we're just all sort of control freaks, and we have these strong visions that we try to bring to fruition, and if we had to like sort of bow to what they wanted, it would be hard for us, I think. So a situation like this where they're just helping us get what we want to do to a lot more people is kind of perfect.
Great. I like it. It's good. That is good. That's probably some of the better news I've heard in a long time with the record company.
Yeah.
That's great. I mean, and it's great what you're doing. And I want, now that's it now. I've got to push it because I want you to come to Europe.
We do too.
I want to jump off a plane and land in Europe.
Yeah, the trouble is though, every band that comes from overseas here, they'll go to flipping London. It's the capital, I know, but they'll go to London. It's like, no, there's more to England than London. What about poor old Scotland up the top there?
Yeah.
And because you see, I know like England compared to America is a little dot. I mean, I've been to Canada a few times because I've got relations there, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I've drove thousands of kilometres or miles, really on that. I never got out of Ontario. So I do understand how big the country is.
Yeah.
And how, when we complain about driving from one end to the other, it's took me 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of the reason that we're excited about touring in Europe, to be honest, is that everything's so much closer together. Like we live out on the west coast of the United States, and on the west coast, every major city is like 6-7 hours apart. And so touring is kind of brutal. You play a show, you drive like through the night, and then you play another show, and that's hard. The East Coast is a little better because the towns are closer together, but Europe, it's you can play 2 or 3 shows in a day. Each in a different major city. So, there's
thinking about it, they do a gig one place and they go up the country, one there, one there, one there, one there, and they go up. It's great.
Yeah.
I understand that, because you really need to jump on a plane and go everywhere, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Well, when I was there, the way you use airplanes, it's like we use coaches or buses here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone just piles on one and it's like off the go. But the flight's great. I mean, you know, I've been to Chicago. That was just to stop over. I've been to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I had to nip across. I was down at Niagara, so it's just nip across to say I've been in America. But yeah, it's great. I mean, it's great. It's great. I mean, with everything. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to end this now, right? Because I want to part two.
Sounds good.
Right. Okay. Let me just say cheerio, and I'll carry on talking just after this. Okay. So I'm going to say cheerio to everybody, and you're going to say cheerio.
Cheerio!
Cheerio.
Oh,
Cheerio!
Thank you.
Good, yummy cereal.
I'd just like to say, I hope you all liked the video. If you did, and you want me to do more, another one, a part two if you like, please send me your questions, whatever, and I'll have a chat and I will ask them. And like I say, all the information's down below, and now you know what about the Cheerios. So if you got your Cheerios ready, there you go. But yes, that's what I will do. Please send me, if you like it, please send me questions you'd like me to ask the band, and I will do. And thank you for all your comments, all your support and everything else. Like I say, all the information will be down below. Thank you so much for all your support and everything. And yes, please stay safe. And this old fella will be back. Bye for now.